These U.S. military robot combat vehicle can destroy enemies' defenses easily. The Army is bolstering the lethality of its fleet of robots through the integration of new weapon systems and payloads that will allow the platforms to destroy targets, take down rogue drones and jam enemy communications. The service is currently pursuing a new family of platforms known as the Robotic Combat Vehicle, which feature 3 variants including light, medium and heavy. It is working to equip them with special payloads to give them enhanced capabilities and offer commanders more options on the battlefield. Last year, the Army announced its intention to award other transaction authority agreements to QinetiQ North America and Textron Systems to build 4 light and 4 medium prototype RCVs, respectively. Meanwhile, the service has embarked on what it calls a campaign of learning, as it works to develop the systems with the input of soldiers. Brigadier General Ross Kaufman, Director of Army Futures Command's Next Generation Combat Vehicle Cross-Functional Team, said in a statement, "The more we can learn now, well in advance of any future building project, will ensure we have the right design, with the right technology that our soldiers and Marines need as a tool to win our nation's future wars." For the Robotic Combat Vehicle, one of the fundamental purposes is to deliver decisive lethality. What limits the pace of an armored advance isn't the physical speed of the vehicles or even the difficulty of the terrain, it's the risk of ambush. The more uncertain you are of the enemy's location, the more time you spend checking potential ambush spots. For an armored force, that can be a particularly laborious process, especially if you have to stop and dismount foot troops to investigate buildings, swamps, dense woods, or other areas tracked vehicles can't enter. Conversely, the better you know where the enemy is and, just as crucial, isn't, the more rapidly you can advance. The aerial and ground unmanned vehicles will allow us to move much faster, because if you know where the enemy is located, you can move very rapidly. If you don't know, then you must conduct reconnaissance, so you're not just blindly walking into an enemy ambush. Of course, reconnaissance, sensors, and networks are never perfect, and sometimes even the smartest soldier gets ambushed. For those occasions, you really want to have a vehicle tough enough to keep you alive when it takes a hit. What's more, the tougher your vehicle, the more risks you can take, which, again, allows you to move faster. In fact, the original purpose of the tank was to restore mobility to the Western Front by advancing through machine gun fire, flattening barbed wire, and crossing trenches. While the robotic combat vehicles are lightly armored and relatively expendable, the new manned combat vehicles will be much more survivable than their predecessors. The term decisive lethality refers to a spectrum of capabilities. What that means is the RCV rapidly develops a common operating picture, and then the commander delivers the effects through joint strikes, combined arms fire, a litany of different ways. But in plain speak, that decisive lethality is being provided by something other than the robot. The light variant's fundamental purpose is reconnaissance, so it will primarily lean on its robust sensor package. The commander identifies the best weapon system to deliver the effects, and then that weapon system, not the robot, delivers decisive lethality. On the other side of the spectrum is the RCV Heavy. That vehicle brings everything it needs to the party. The RCV Heavy is a robotic tank. So just as an M1A1 or M1A2 can deliver decisive lethality via onboard means, so too can the RCV Heavy. The medium variant, which is considered a bridging solution between the light and the heavy, is meant to rapidly develop a common operating picture but will have a more robust capability onboard to employ firepower with its organic weapon systems. Light variant, its lethality package will have the capability to defeat troops and trucks with one anti-tank guided missile. However, the service is being open-minded in how it defines the required weaponry. The Army needs to do some soul searching and determine what that anti-tank guided missile, or ATGM, will look like, because it must have commonality with the service's existing supply chain. It's going to be very, very difficult if the RCV uses one ATGM and the optionally manned fighting vehicle, and everything else uses another. For the medium variant, that platform will need to defeat systems such as amphibious tracked infantry fighting vehicles, armored reconnaissance vehicles, and armored personnel carriers. The variant will have a requirement of 2 ATGMs.
We have one in the schedule, but 2 is ideal.